So Joel's here now. I don't know why.
Yeah, why are you here?
We don't know why we let him on here.
I'm here to talk about Far Cry 5 and Sea of Thieves because I
Thank
have
you.
not played them, so I am just going to judge them horribly
That's
and harshly
perfect.
from the outside.
I guess we could allow that.
We can allow that.
Thanks, dudes.
So let's get right into Far Cry 5. I got it from Redbox. I'm not gonna pay full price for this game. I don't know why.
Hashtag free.
Hashtag not free at all.
Hashtag kind of free.
Hashtag rented.
Hashtag I had a coupon code, which is true.
Redbox.
I really love Redbox. Anyway, but only because like I loved 3. I didn't really I started 4 and didn't do anything with it and had no interest in Primal. I didn't know what to expect with this. The reviews are a little they're positive but kind of like I don't know where Delphox is. That's a good question. So I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, so you played Far Cry 3, played a little 4 and 5. How similar are they aside from settings, just play wise?
Oh, aside from settings. So
yeah,
5
gameplay wise.
I don't know if I think Primal had this. I didn't play it, but and I don't know if 4 had it either because I didn't play enough of it. Because you could have like people that were just wandering around the world and they'd kind of help you out. Now you can have more of a squad, and you'll get these named characters like his Boomer, the dog, and he can scout out enemies and he jumps on them and rips their face off. And similarly, I just got the bear companion, which is this giant grizzly bear.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger, yeah. Who runs out.
Cheeseburger.
And there's the sniper lady. There's the lady in the helicopter. There's the guy in the plane. And you can kind of roll out with your squad, and that's really cool. I think that is, at least fleshed out to this level, is new for this version of the game.
So are they running around with you, or do you call them into battle? Or
They're
something?
running around with you. If you're stealthy,
Okay.
they won't engage. As soon as the fight breaks out, they go. And you can say like, hey, take out that guy. Take out that guy. You just point at them and press a button, and they're like, okay, I'm a bear. I don't know how I understand this, but I'm gonna do it.
All right, that's neat.
Yeah, it still has the same kind of story focus, or not focus, but like a cinematic presentation to a lot of its story stuff, and we'll get into more of that later. But this one definitely is a kind of a weird tonal shift, I would say. And it seems, let's get into it right now. It seems like there's like ex-BioShock people were involved because so much of this story content and the cutscenes and like the weird opening where you have to arrest him and you try to leave on a helicopter and the helicopter crashes and it's this crazy set piece moment that does not really belong in a Far Cry game that like it'd be out of place in Far Cry 3 because it's so just violent and visceral, for lack of a better term, in a way that isn't what the other games were, at least to my memory.
Sure.
And it's also tonally with this guy of like, God won't let you kill me. And it's like, that's an interesting angle that you don't see. And it was very evocative to me of the stuff in BioShock Infinite, where it's like, oh, he is the god of this island. And like all these people you're trying to kill him and they captured this girl. And it just seemed, all these other characters you talk to, like his brother, this one lady who isn't his sister, but they kind of, is kind of not blood related. Yeah. They have these cutscenes and these moments where they're talking to you where you're not doing anything, you're just watching it, and it feels so BioShocky, so well done and implemented, and the tone is dark and
You make me want to play it.
like mysterious, and like there's there's Bliss is this drug that they're using to make all these people zombies, some people zombies, and
Right.
and so this
You
lady
lost him.
in her region of the map, she, after you like piss her off enough, she comes and like poisons you with the bliss, and you're in this tranquil environment. She's leading you around like a ghost and disappearing over here and then popping over there, and it's really cool, and it's like they just wanted to be saved, and I'm like, this is kind of creepy, and then that's all juxtaposed with my bear friend that I'm killing this base with a helicopter mom, and I have an RPG, and I'm throwing sticky TNT on cars. Like, it just doesn't fit with the rest of the game. And that's why I say, like, their writing and all the story stuff is so from a different game, and I want that solo, single-player, linear, story-based game over this.
Huh.
Then that's not to say that the rest of the gameplay isn't good, because it actually is really good. It just, there's these two separate pieces that are not of the same game.
Very interesting.
And that's to say nothing of the politics, which I don't even really give a shit about.
Graphics are amazing though.
Oh, the graphics are great. Well, we'll stick to the story. We'll go back to that. You can see me. There's some pretty good kills coming up with me in my bunny outfit.
Oh yeah, I just noticed you were wearing.
I know, right?
Bunny ears.
Got my bunny ears because it's close to Easter. Gotta be festive.
Oh.
There's other, so you'll get captured by these people at set points during the story, and it keeps happening. Each person is gonna capture you over and over and over. At least 3
I'm
times.
watching the stream and you just like, it showed you beating the shit out of some guy, and then like you completed the mission in slow motion. The guy is just falling backwards.
Yeah. So that's the thing. The game
Just his
doesn't.
dirty foot stick up.
The game is absurd. So this is a perfect example. There's one where you have to like free this guy. It's he's been hopped up on the Bliss, but he's like the sheriff, and you don't want him to. You want to rescue him, and he's like. The Bliss is making him like tie a noose, and he's got the noose up, and he just like steps on a chair, and he's like, you gotta just stop the production, you gotta go and get out of here. And so you do this, and it's this cool moment, and this corridor shooter that is not what Far Cry is, and it's great overall. This is actually, before that was a boss fight with Ghost Lady while you're hopped up on the drugs, which is like all over the place. Game's all over the goddamn place. And then after that scene where this man almost kills himself, it ends with this like banjo, that's like fireworks. Like, what is happening? Why?
It's so weird.
So like when you see the outpost captured and it has the fireworks, it plays this like banjo ditty. And why though? It's so weird how all over the place it is at some points. It really feels like they were making something else, and a lot of this stuff was tacked on. Several missions are like, they were making a zombie game? Because it feels like they were making a zombie game. All I'm fighting are zombies right now, essentially.
Yeah, maybe they had something they wanted to do.
I think one of the DLC things is a zombie DLC. But
Makes sense. They've always had interesting DLC for their Far Cry games.
yeah, they have. It's just and I love the gameplay. It's still the same. So you're asking about differences. You're not climbing towers. It's basically just the outposts. There are cool little prepper stashes that you can find, and they usually have a little puzzle involved where you read a note and it says like, oh, the power was shut off, but there should be some way to get in through the roof, and you have to figure out how to climb over to the roof and get in there, and then you get perk points, and you spend the perk points. That's another way that it's different. You're not collecting pelts. It's more, oh, did you kill 10 guys with the flamethrower? Here's some perk points. Did you capture a salmon with a fish stick? And you got some perk points. How many kills did the Boomer the dog get? Okay, you got enough. Here's the perk points. Like, that's how they're doled out. And I do like the perk tree. It's not really a tree. It's like just everything's over there. Perks everywhere. They do a good job with that, even though it's really stupid how they're laid out, and it's confusing as to what they even are. It's like, here's a picture of brass knuckles. Like, what does that do? Does that increase your melee damage? No, it increases how fast you can switch to the melee weapon, and it's like how many you can hold. Like, why? Why are you using a picture of brass knuckles? I can't even get brass knuckles. Why the fuck are you showing me brass knuckles? There's a perk for so if you have one companion with you, this perk lets you have 2, right? So there's like a whole tree at the bottom, or a whole section at the bottom that's all for perks for your companions, and the very last one is the one that unlocks the second slot. Why is that not the first one that's like really big? Instead, I had to search through all the boxes to find it, and it's the last one. It's just weird. There's weird stuff like that I don't understand. I don't know, but you can see it.
Really wanted to make you work for it.
They did. I mean, I knew it was there, and it says like, "Hey, you can unlock this by doing that." And I'm like, "Well, why take me there? Because now I'm just going through all the perks to find it." And they all have stupid pictures that don't mean anything to me, because I'm impatient.
Right.
But it's Far Cry, and that's, good or bad. I think it suffers from the same problem Far Cry has had for years, which is you cannot just have 5 seconds to yourself.
Yeah, there's always something going on everywhere. Because just like the gameplay that we're looking at right now, you just converted this place into your own.
Yeah.
Like you took it over, and now it's being raided instantly.
I think I started another quest. But,
okay.
But, like, I didn't start the quest. I was just near the quest, and I got near the start point for the quest. And
so you didn't even activate it, you just...
I was too close to the activation point, which was where I was, yeah.
Nice.
And that is the problem. Like, you'll see someone on the side of the road, you're like, oh, I'll rescue them. And you do that, but then someone else will drive by. Now you got this car, and then another car drives by, and then another car. And I'm just sitting there like, why can't the road be clear? And then there's... these people that give you quests, you go to talk to them, right? Or there'll be other people that don't give you quests. They'll give you like the location of a prepper stash, which I want to do. Those are fun. And I want to talk to them. They're like, oh, I'm in combat. So then you kill everyone and you start to talk to them. And they're like, oh, I lost my fishing rod over there. And then, but I heard on the radio, oh, there's someone over there. And then they start fighting another guy who drove by. And then I got to go back to them and listen to their speech again. And it's so stupid. Like, there's so many quest givers that are too close to people, and the people are too aggro. They're just constantly trying to fight you, and I can't even get quests sometimes. Because even though there's an option for some of them to, like, skip the dialogue, which I don't necessarily want to do, but I have to because I couldn't get the quest to be given to me. There were too many people trying to kill me. And, like, that's just
crazy.
Really poor design, especially when... Like, as soon as you get later on with the people getting pissed off with you in that area, they start sending in helicopters and planes like you're seeing now. And that's cool. Like, it's fun to fight helicopters, not me punching leaves or whatever I'm doing. But there's so many fucking helicopters and planes. And you can't really I had to start carrying around an RPG just because I didn't know when I was going to get attacked by a helicopter. And that doesn't really sit well with me. There's no easy way to shoot down helicopters. I guess I could buy
on screen there's 3 helicopters sitting here.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm shooting...
Just give you a moment to breathe.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that was the big problem I had with Far Cry 2. It was by far the worst. And they've gotten better. This one just, for some reason, it's like, don't even take the roads. Don't take the roads. Because everyone is always on the roads. Hey, there's another caravan over here. There's another caravan. I'm like, no. That's a waste of time.
We get it.
Don't do it. There's too many things. I like this. It's like 7 helicopters on the ground. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? Why?
Oh my god.
There's 3 helicopters here. I got some trophy too. Oh my god. But it is a lot of fun. I've played a ton of it over the last 3-4 days. Really enjoyed it. It's just tonally kind of all over the place. I don't think they couldn't settle on one thing, which I understand why. So they couldn't make it this dark, gritty thing because their gameplay mechanics didn't fit, and they couldn't make it work in Montana without making it like a crazy cult, because what else would it be? So it's like these two opposing things with the gameplay that's still really good, but still has all the same kind of jank weirdness that never... And can games stop? This is just kind of sidebar, but the guys in Uncharted would have like all the armor.
Yeah.
And like you can't fight them very well. This game has those guys. And I hate these guys. Why? I don't want to shoot someone in the face like 17 times and then have them die. I don't need armored people. It kind of goes a little in the way of like Wolfenstein 2 was very much like kill Nazis, die, 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 and it's like blood everywhere. This doesn't quite capture. It's not as good as of a shooter, and then it doesn't get the just like crazy I'm killing everything moments. Now you can see right here, I tried to take my parachute out. This is a perfect example. Like, but you can't jump high enough, even on a hill, to like make the parachute come out. So then I'm just falling. Like nothing makes any goddamn sense. I don't know, but it's really good. But it's totally a rental, I think.
Right.
But I mean, I did this because I had days off in that time frame where I could easily like get a bunch of hours in and return it the next day and like not have. I'm gonna spend $12 on it. That's a good deal for 20 something hours of Far Cry.
Yeah.
Oh, and the arcade mode's actually pretty cool. It's got a level editor. You can pop into random people's levels. That's a lot of fun. The trophy list is really good. The kind of moment-to-moment gameplay stuff is really fun. The island you start off, it has some Dead Island vibes to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think just the more American setting, kind of more civilized, I guess. Like there's a lot of buildings and things, and I do really appreciate the setting. I was listening to some podcast. I was like, it's weird. You're killing Americans. I'm like, never once did I fucking think I'm killing Americans. They're video game morons. I'm shooting them because they're in my way.
I don't care where they're from.
I do not care. They might as well be from space Zimbabwe. Like, it does not matter where they're from.
Yeah.
So that's where my politics of it. There's no. If you expected this game to have something to say, you were crazy. Because there's no way a big AAA Ubisoft game was going to have a stance. And I'm fine with games having a stance. It's just this was clearly not the one that was going to.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to do that.
It seemed like it was going to be like very, I don't know, heavy in themes, you know, as far as like the political climate that we have now.
Yeah.
It just seems like they're getting to that point with the game where it's like it's the same thing every iteration. They might improve something. It's becoming like NBA 2K.
Kinda. Well,
I was really interested in the game, and it looks like. I mean, I know if I got it, I would have a lot of fun. But
yeah,
like, it's the same thing. It's basically Assassin's Creed with guns, or you know, it's just got the same formula. And
it's the Ubisoft formula, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that fatigue for me right now, where I don't even want to touch a game like that.
That's why if I don't buy it, I'm not gonna comb over every corner. I'm just gonna kind of mainline the story, get all the side objectives, do the outposts, and call it a day.
That's probably all you want to do with this game too.
That is all I want to do.
Yeah.
Because if you want to try and do everything, you're gonna be fighting every person every 5 seconds on the roads.
Yeah.
Trying to get there, so it takes longer than it really should.
And to go back to the story stuff you were kind of mentioning, Joel, that's what the main story stuff is really cool, and I think is some of the best part, and also some of the worst part, because it doesn't make any sense being in this world. Some of the linear sections, I question their design decisions of like, why are there so many guys here? It should just be a fun escape sequence. It shouldn't be there's 30 people here. Like, why the hell? And you gave me a pistol. Like, what the fuck's happening? It just doesn't quite add up, even though they're a nice change of pace from the open world gameplay. And the outposts are actually really, really good. They're all very different. Like, this is a trailer park. This is like a diner. And it's really fun to, almost like a Last of Us vibe, where you're going through, everyth's destroyed, and you're just going through hotels and recognizable stuff. I really appreciate that. I don't know. It's very interesting.
What do you think on a scale of like 1 to 10? Do you think it's like
I would
8?
I would
Like a
give
7?
it man. I haven't beaten it. I don't know if I said that. I'm very close. I've done 2 of the 3 things, and I'm like a third of the way through the third one. There's give me another 8 hours, I'll be done. I would right now I'd give it and at the highest I'd give it is an 8.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, it sounds like a good game. I mean, it's just not perfect, which is
Yeah.
fine. No game is going to be perfect except for Last of Us, but
Whoa.
But there's
Whoa.
the swimming. Oh.
Uncharted 2.
Oh my God. I should replay Uncharted 2. Fucking hate those stupid games.
Dude, I can't go back. I can't play any Uncharted games anymore. I don't know why. Like, I love those games, but I couldn't even get through 4. I never finished 3, and I just have no desire to play them.
Uncharted 4 is the only one I really like. Well, and Lost Legacy I really like too.
I like all of them.
I should go back and just bitch and moan at the jet ski level in 1. God.
Yeah, that's fair.
Talk about things that should have been cut out of the game. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing Far Cry 2 and just hating it because you have malaria in it, and you have to constantly find, like, medicine to, like...
Yeah.
And
Well-
I don't know if there's a certain point where they cure your
I doubt
malaria, but I didn't get to that point, and it felt like it was taking way too long.
I hated it too because because you couldn't like fast travel, and you had to
You couldn't tell where you're getting shot from. You'd
Yeah,
be in
and,
the
like-
jungle, and you'd be getting shot, and be like, "What is there a leaf?"
and
that's
you're
shooting me?
so
What the hell
far
is that?"
away from things like you have to drive there, but
Oh yeah,
people would
yeah.
kept shooting your car, and then your car's destroyed, and you get out of the car, and then 16 people drive by. It was a
Just a fucking
disaster.
school bus of guys.
It literally was. Oh hey, what's going on? Oh hey, what's going on? No. But that game I think has the best fire tech. Like the stuff gets caught on fire in this game, and it's like really weak.
It's like
Just seems kind of
spraying.
lame. Or this little lame fire we got going on. But it's really fun, and like the upgrades you can do, and it'd be a really really fun co-op game. Obviously, you can do the whole game co-op, even the zombie parts, I suppose.
Hey.
Yay! All right, let's move on. Joel, do you have any other questions?
About Far Cry 5?
Yeah.
Nah.
Eh.
I think a lot of it. I'm already fatigued hearing about it. I think because I listen to a shit ton of podcasts while I'm at work, and
Yeah.
everybody's playing it, and everyone has pretty similar opinions. Like, I don't think I've heard anybody really have a different opinion where, like, they're having fun with it. The story's not perfect. Some of the characters they don't like, but overall it's good. I think that's what I've heard on every single podcast,
Yeah.
which is what I figured it would be, because that's what 4 was.
Yeah.
And I think
exactly.
3, the reason why 3, I think everyone just holds 3 to a higher, I think,
Well,
on a
'cause
higher pedestal because of just how different and crazy it was.
it just came out of nowhere. I feel like it was Far Cry
Yeah.
3, yeah, and then you play like
and no
whoa,
business being that good, and then it was.
yeah, that was lightning in a bottle or whatever the hell they say, right?
Yeah.
I think if you want a differing opinion, Polygon, and since they have the lowest review, which I haven't read, so I don't know exactly
Oh, really?
why they reviewed it. It's like a 6.5, which I can totally see. But if you
I
listen,
could see it getting lower scores like that.
yeah,
I could also see it getting higher scores. I mean, that's the thing, is like, it seems like a game that can really depend on if you're fatigued with, open world
Or Ubisoft games.
formulas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a fun week to have it. I'll say that. It's not sitting down and playing the game for like 4 hours straight is not a chore. I'll put it that
Right.
way.
There's enough stuff to do. And
Yeah, it's
some
constantly
progress.
fun. If you want to, like the first 10 hours or whatever, I was taking it slow, and I'm seeing a building over there, and I'm walking over, and I'm stealthily doing every single thing, and that's a ton of fun, but it does have that problem like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to loot all these corpses. I don't need to do all that stuff. All my inventory is maxed. There's nothing in this
Yeah.
building. Why am I even bothering? But if you want to do it, it's all there, and it's fun. This quest where I'm throwing meat for Peaches, maybe not as fun, but Peaches, great companion. Probably the highest kill count of all my companions.
Nice.
This cougar thing.
Fucking cougar, man.
Yeah, the
Well,
animal.
they probably took the cougars from Red Dead Redemption.
Copy
Because
and
those ones
pasted them.
just killed everything.
He just like runs and it's just bam, right on top of someone, eats their face. Like, Jesus, cougar boy.
Cougar boy.
Cougar boy, oh yeah.
Kind of doesn't make sense.
All right, let's move on to the Sea of
Cougars.
Thieves.
to the
Once
to
I-
weeb of
My
thieves.
computer works.
Control
Oh,
Alt
see
Delete.
the things.
All right, so